What character did you do a voice for that gave you the most trouble? Like, it was difficult. The most difficult character you voiced. Everybody.
Do you mean like physically?
Anyway.
Physically, probably Matsu from Negima, the little frog, the edamame bee. I could only do his voice for like a couple hours because it would strip my throat.
Because he sounds like this the entire time.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So like after 2 hours, I was like, and the worst was like I had this little girl in the same show that was super high pitched and like really energy, and so I was like, listen, I will do one or the other a day, but I'm not doing both. It's too much. So that was the hardest one.
I definitely think the hardest but the most fun was playing a dog. And in a show called Tintin, I played Snowy the dog, and there was no dialogue, just barking. People say, what do you do for a living? Well, this week I went in and I barked, for whatever. And you just go home, you're driving home, and you say, what did I do to deserve this? This is so much fun. But the dog was always drowning. Every time you turned around, the dog was drowning. So what I did was I started practicing with water in my mouth so that I could, but then after a while, so it's got, so then I started getting into all these like sound effects. A very dear friend of mine does terrific sound effects, so he kind of helped me out a little bit. And it was so much fun, but very, very difficult. And sometimes, you would do it and because you bark sad, you bark happy. Well, try barking, do it, practice it in your lap. No one will notice that you're sitting there barking. So you go a happy bark, a sad bark. But this went on for like week after week after week. So trying to come up with something new and fresh was the challenge there. Sometimes it's it's easier to have words to say, because you can hang your hat on a word.
Without a doubt, Sailor Moon. Without a doubt.
Really?
Oh, yeah, because of the pressure. Okay, Sailor Moon, of course, is Terry Hawks. She was the one that everybody went, oh, and then Terry gets pregnant, and they cast, and I'm like, no, I'll go audition. And when I auditioned, I was sick as a dog. I couldn't speak at all. I couldn't speak. So I went in there, oh my gosh, we just had a sudden influx of people. So I went in there and I couldn't talk to anybody as I'm doing, just sitting there like, so I didn't speak at all the whole day, go in there, do this audition, and what they did was they played Terry back. They played Terry in my head. So they do her line, and they had all of her lines written out for me, so they'd play her line, and then I would imitate it. And it was easy. It was easy to imitate her, easy, especially with the cold, because my nose is all stuffed up, so that made it so much easier. And I'm doing the exact same lines as she's doing. So they're like, this is exactement comme Terry, this is amazing. So then I go in to do it. And now I'm not listening to her say the line first of all, and then just repeating it. I'm looking at the words going, oh, now I have to sound like her. Okay. And the lines are going along like this, and they're going, at this insanely fast pace. And I'm just like, and I can't think of what she sounds like, and I'm trying to act. You're trying to act as well in this insanely fast pace, trying to sound like somebody else who is trying to not sound like a Japanese person. And it was just like, I was so confused. And for the first, 4 or 5 episodes, I would go home every day and just cry. I know, I would go home, I just feel like, but the director would say, too old, you sound too old. And I'd be like, okay, it's gonna be nice, like, that's not. And finally, one day, my husband just said, you have to make this your own. And I'm like, yeah, but, and he said, no, you have to make this your own. And I went, yeah, you're right, I do. So that's when I started settling down and going, okay, what do I want this character to be? And it was also, you have to remember, not in the day of having YouTube. So I couldn't just throw on YouTube and go, oh, right, that's what she sounded like. I just had it in my head, and that was all I had. And when I get there, they'd maybe play me a little bit of her reference, and then I'd start again. And then they slowly started playing my reference, which helped a little bit more, because I could actually hear my own voice instead. But so that was really, really tough. And Terry's Terry, she was Sailor Moon. She was perfect. I loved her. Oh, well,
You know what, I had the same kind of experience. So I did a lot of seasons as Alex on Totally Spies, but I wasn't the original Alex. There was, both the girls are in LA. We do a phone patch. The other two that are doing it now. But there was an original Alex, and they kept playing it over and over, and I had to do the exact same thing. It was basically the same story, except that I kept getting pushed higher and higher in my range. So Alex is really high, and she totally talks like this. And it was so high. So to do that for hours on end, and we were on a phone patch, it would take a really long time. And it's very high. And also, I was the original Ruby on Max and Ruby. Again, super annoying and super high. So I always find the high stuff.
I'll go. Sure. I do this character on Cyber Chase called Wicked. And she's this crazy witch. I gotta think how she sounds now. Well, that's my well, hacker. And she's always like, what? Are you crazy? And she just does this, she just goes to these insane, crazy places, and then she'll just come down a little bit. So she's a real flirt, which I always love the flirty characters. But she's also a villain, and I have always loved doing the villain's voice. Even when I was doing Sailor Moon, they'd say, okay, we've got to get this villain, and I'd be like, I'll do it. They're like, you're already doing too much. I'll do it. Please let me do it. Please let me do it. But anyways, yeah, this crazy. I can't even. Hacker, what are you doing here? That's it. I can't do it this microphone. I'll kill it.
Fun. God, yeah, there's a lot that have been. You know, I really have to go back to good old Strawberry Shortcake. the Berry Princess. Oh, I mean, hello. I mean, what I did was I tried to sound the way I thought, in my mind, the best mother in the world would sound when she was talking to her little babies. Oh, God, no. Actually, no, okay, no, I'm not going to put it. So, the Berry Princess. See, we're getting a lot of air into these microphones. Do you notice? I don't know why that is. You see, okay, little technique thing. If you go like this, so see it's getting a lot of popping and air, so you're supposed to speak over it, but then it's not.
No, because it doesn't have a...
Maybe just the volume has to go up a little bit, but anyway,
you're not going to make me do this.
just a little volume.
Okay.
Just try that.
Volume up, okay.
Just a bit. Yeah, because if you speak properly, which is, no, I can still hear it sounds like a jet.
I haven't done anything yet. Okay, no.
All right.
I gotta check.
There we go. That's actually better.
Is it? I didn't really do
Something's better.
anything.
It was the placebo effect. Yes. All right, so the strawberry princess needs the berry kids. Yes, well, just soft and gentle. Come on, little munchkins. Please come into the house, and I'll give you some wonderful warm milk and some tea, and then I'll put you to bed. But let's not go there.
I want to come into the house and have some more milk and tea. Sounds amazing. The most fun character for me would have to be Mari. Mostly because I could fight Dallas traffic the entire way to Funimation, and then get there and I'm like, okay, man, like let's bang through these lines because I got some yelling to do. So the screams, I love screaming. I've always been a big fan of just being like, and losing my mind because normally you're not supposed to do that in public. Let's learn. Yeah.
Okay. I did, there was just one season of it, Team Galaxy, I don't know if anyone knows that one, but I was Yoko. Yoko was really fun because it was completely out of my zone, and I got to sing, and I sang the title track of the song. So yeah, Yoko was really fun. I was so sad when she didn't come back. But yeah, no, that was fun. Good time. I like Alex too. Not that I don't like Sailor Mars, but she's pretty fun. Yeah, so there you go.
Everything's done. That was Kate's resume. Exactly. Question.
Did Max even have a voice actor?
Yes, there's a little boy that was for Max and Ruby, you mean? Yeah, little boy. I don't know his name because he was never in the studio at the time. I think maybe Joshua. It was a J.
It was just one word at a time.
Yeah, no, but there was a little boy who made a killing because he didn't really have to say anything. Except, well, he would say words, random words here and there.
Actually, that's something that I hate. Kids, figure it out. They've taken a lot of jobs away from us over the years.
Yeah, no.
Evil little minions, and they're so cute. But they've got those cute little voices, and we'll all be sitting in an audition room. You know, so you're getting your little boy voice or whatever. You know, you're sort of trying to figure it out. Okay, you should go a little bit higher, maybe. Okay, go a little bit cuter. I don't know. And then you've got this kid with this clear, beautiful voice, and you go, it's yours, kid. They look at you and you go, yeah, it is. More money in their bank accounts, those little kids. Oh, man.
My question is for Hillary. How do you think you match up to the other members of your social?
No, I'm good. How do I
The other members of your
I have to say definitely not audition. I mean, in general, yeah.
Yeah, maybe?
I love her. She's like super athletic and hardcore, and then she like said hands, she's like
Why am I the one to laugh? Is it because of my age? All right, okay. Been there, done. Listen, I mean, so let's do the math. Let's just do the math. Sailor Moon is celebrating its 20th anniversary. This year. So let's do the math. Okay? I was probably as young and fresh and young, fresh young person here. Let's just do the math.
I wasn't born, so I couldn't.
Now, see, that's another thing very quickly. When Sailor Moon, and it's kind of interesting that it came to Canada. You realize that there would have been companies bidding on it in the US as well. And the producer we were speaking of before, Nicole, what's the matter with you? Adam! She stinks! She stinks! I hate her! I hate her! Oh, yeah. Anyway, she underbid every single other company in the world, obviously, that bid on Sailor Moon. So that was to our benefit. I mean, we really should thank her for that, because she just undercut which is why we never got scripts, why we just went in and recorded without any, advance notice or any practice or rehearsal or even reading the script. And, what is the plot to Dating Couple? I don't care. Go do your stuff. I pay you to do your stuff. So just go do it.